To get reaction to the executive order on transgender youth health care, we bring in Silver State Equality's State Director, Andre Wade. Andre, thank you so much for joining us. What's your first take on this when you hear about this executive order that's going to basically stop transgender youth from being the gender that they would like to be?
First, we need to clarify that this is just an executive order. It's not sweeping. It does not stop anything. So we need to be careful with the premise of the story. This is just looking at federal insurance for federal employees and some of the research that they're looking at stopping. But this is just an order, it's a directive, and nothing is immediate. There's going to be a ton of lawsuits on this, and so it's not sweeping. And so we want to make sure that that's clear with folks.
Okay, but it still is troubling. I read your statement that you put out about this, and you find this to be very problematic. Tell us why.
Yeah, it's absolutely troubling because it's a culture war. This is government overreach. There are about 50 medical associations who agree that these medical treatments are okay. And it's not just about surgeries. That is the misconception about gender-affirming care for young people. So we need to let people get that out of their minds. It's mostly about mental health therapy and sometimes like puberty blockers and stuff like that, things that are reversible. So we want to be clear on that. It's not about surgeries. It's very, very, very minor subset of the population might qualify for that with the oversight of a doctor. So let's be clear.
As someone who fights for equality day in and day out, are you seeing this country go into a direction that you find fearful? And if so, what are you all doing to try to combat that?
You know, we saw this coming with Project 2025. And so this is a change in what the Trump administration wants to see for the country. And as you can see, there's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of confusion. No one knows anything. They don't even know anything. And that's why some of these positions are being rescinded. So we're reacting to the fire hose of the executive orders that are being sent out. And we're doing the best we can to educate folks about the reality of these executive orders and what it means for folks down the line. But right now, it's just chaos and nobody's knowing what exactly is going on.
I know you're saying educate people about the executive orders, and obviously that is important. Do you feel like there needs to be some education of the American people about LGBTQ rights and what it means to be transgendered and even what that entails for some of these children and even adults? Do you feel like maybe some of us don't know enough about this?
Oh, absolutely. And I really applaud people who have really taken the time to have an understanding of what it means for someone to be lesbian, gay, or bisexual. But for someone who is transgender, that's where a lot of the education has to come from. People have a very misunderstanding or a lack of understanding of what it means to be transgender. So we really want people to just go out and talk to someone who's transgender. I saw like in your clip that you saw one person who detransitioned, but that is like such a minute number of people who decide that they want to detransition that it's unfortunate that that's part of the story because there's not that many people. It happens, but yeah, people need to really have an understanding of what it means to be transgender. And we hope that people can take the time and know that these are people who are trying to live their lives, who are trying to overcome difficulties. But unfortunately, we have an administration that is on the attack.
And when you talk about the population being so small of those who decide that they made the wrong decision, it's important to note that the actual population of people who are transgender, at least who have been identified as transgender, is actually pretty small as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and we'd love to have you back. Thank you so much.